Okay, good morning everyone, Virgo here. Wanted to update you guys on an event that took place yesterday. Take a good look at the 7 pictures in front of you of Kiba Harris, Tanya Scott, Musa Abdur Rahim, Sika Rashid Abdullah, Adam Abdur Rahim, Troy Sutton, and Shushane Adams Haylinger. These 7 individuals, armed to the hilt, decided that they were going to claim themselves Native Americans and Indigenous to this land, and thereby having the rights in their own minds to not only attempt to try to take land, but in addition to that, take a law enforcement officer as hostage. I'm going to go ahead and read this article to you. You may actually recognize the names of some of these individuals. I have actually seen some of their work online. If you recall, I did a video not very long ago with regards to a gentleman that was actually attempting to try to show a grouping of individuals how to use an automatic rifle, or a semi-automatic rifle at the very least, how to clean it, where to shoot, in order to do maximum damage on a human being. And this is one of the reasons why I was so concerned about this. These are not necessarily from the same group. I'm not sure whether they are or are not. We only know that they're from the same state. All right. A group claiming to represent Native Americans indigenous to the Pocono Mountains stormed a residential community clubhouse Monday afternoon in an effort to, quote, take the land back, end quote, according to the news release from Pennsylvania State Police. The incident began around 12:45 p.m. when State Police at Bloomington Grove were alerted that 5 armed men were attempting to force their way into the community building at Pine Ridge in Lehman Township, Pike County. Caller inside the clubhouse reportedly told police the men were smashing the windows and 3 office workers were barricaded inside. As troopers headed there, Pine Ridge's chief of security said he was overrun by several male assailants who took one of his officers hostage, police said. Members of the group allegedly handcuffed the 66-year-old security guard and took his 9mm handgun, then stole his Dodge Ram after forcing him into the back seat. The intruders continued to cause extensive damage to the entire building by smashing windows and doors, while 2 women remained in getaway vehicles nearby, police said. Along with the hostages' pickup, the group stole a Pine Ridge security vehicle, police said. Troopers met the group trying to flee in the vehicles and quickly took 6 of the suspects into custody without further incident, according to the release. A short while later, the 7th actor was successfully located after he crashed the stolen Pine Ridge security vehicle a short distance away, State Police spokesman Trooper First Class Robert Urban wrote in the release. The guard taken hostage was found and reported with minor injuries. Charged are Tanya Scott, 49, also of Bushkill, Pennsylvania. Kiba Harris, 43, also of Bushkill. Musa Abdur Rahim, 27, of Birmingham, New York. Siku Rashad Abdullah, no age available, of Houston, Texas. Adam Abdur Rahim, 31, also of Houston, and Troy Sutton, 50, of Brooklyn, New York. Shushane Adams Haylinger, 26, also of Birminghamton, according to the police news release. It has been preliminarily determined that the actors committed this crime to take the land back, quote unquote, claiming that they were indigenous Native Americans to the area and that the land belonged to them, Urban wrote in this release. We were denied bail due to flight risk at their, they were, rather, denied bail due to flight risk at their preliminary arraignments and were sent to the Pike County Prison to await a preliminary hearing, according to the court records. The group's plan after storming Pine Ridge was to do the same thing at another nearby Pocono Mountains residential community known as Saw Ridge, according to court documents. That is allegedly where they were headed when state police arrested them. Court records say Scott told state police interviewers after her arrest she is the rightful owner of the land where the Pine Ridge community and Saw Ridge community is located and has been attempting to regain the land at Pine Ridge for more than 2 years. When the assailants first arrived Monday at Pine Ridge, the property manager suspected Scott may be involved because she has been causing them issues about the land ownership, police wrote in court records. Scott and Harris on September 6th attempted to take control of the Pine Ridge community by showing up to the community office and presenting paperwork, but she was intimidated by a security guard and forced to leave, court records say. State police cited Scott for criminal trespass in that earlier incident. In her review with police Monday evening, Scott related that their intention upon arrival was to forcefully remove the occupants of the Pine Ridge community and claim the property for her own, state police wrote in court records. She related that she was unaware that the men involved had firearms, but related that 2 were BB guns. State police confirmed at least 3 of the assailants were armed with firearms and 2 had BB guns, according to court documents. Scott had finalized the plan with the 6 co-defendants on Sunday at a McDonald's in Brooklyn, promising them housing and a weekly salary of $500, courts say. Scott drove her Chrysler Pacifica to pick up some members of the group Monday morning in Harlem, with the rest following behind in a rental car, according to police. Adam Abdur Rahim told police he is the owner of a security company called Elite Protection Agency, and that Scott explained to him that she needs help taking back her land that she owns, which is an Indian reservation, and that the land was located in Bushkill, Pennsylvania, Allentown, Pennsylvania, and Albany, New York. According to police, his job was to go to Pine Ridge community and Saw Creek communities and evict people from the community. He reportedly told police Scott promised him he would become chief of the tribal police and could choose any house in Pine Ridge to live for free with his family, earning $1,000 a week for security, according to court records. Adam Abdur Rahim reportedly told police Scott emailed him documents relating to the property that is owned by her, and the state of Pennsylvania refused to get involved with the eviction, and that he reviewed the documents and researched the property, then decided to contract his family and friends to work for him. I'm going to be following this case further, but I would like to show you a document that might look slightly familiar to you. Here we go. Although worded slightly different than what we've seen in the past in the Moorish Savsit community, this states, I, Tanya Scott, being first duly subscribed and sworn under oath, state that I am the owner of real property, commonly known as Pine Ridge, Bushkill, Pennsylvania, which said property is located in the unincorporated census designed place of Lehman Township, Bushkill, Pennsylvania, more particularly described as, and then putting the latitude and longitude map coordinates in there. My ownership of this property is evidenced from inheritance and in accordance to Aboriginal title and original Indian title. Legal precedence illustrates the following. Number 1, as an Indigenous American Indian woman, I have Aboriginal title to my ancestral land of North America / Turtle Island. Sound familiar, guys? Number 2, Aboriginal title is a common law doctrine that the land rights of Indigenous people to customary tenure persist after the assumption of sovereignty under settler colonism. All jurisdictions are in agreement that Aboriginal title is inalienable except to the national government, and that It may be held either individually or collectively. Aboriginal title is also referred to as Indigenous title, Native title, and Original Indian title. A. Non-Indian bodies have no authority to title land, only to pay. Okay, so there's a total of 4 pages with this. I'm only going to read you this one. It's a bunch of nonsense. It really isn't any different than what we see in the Moorish consulate documentation. This is exactly the same type of scam that they run. Of course, you guys already know this, but I did want to let you know that this has taken place. All 7 of them are currently in jail awaiting hearings and trial. Now I'm going to link the actual article to the description of this video. You're welcome to take a look at it for yourself, but I will be following it as it moves along. This just happened yesterday, and this will give everybody a wonderfully a good idea of exactly what these individuals are attempting to do. And if you think that they won't gather guns and become armed in large groups in order to try to do this, you would be wrong. These are not people that are playing. They honestly believe their own garbage. They have fallen down a rabbit hole that they don't seem to be able to find their way out of, and a lot of them are desperate. They are willing to take hostages and potentially harm people in order to get their point across. So we need to be watching these groups super close, particularly groups like the Moorish American Consulate, because they are actually directing their people to do these heinous things. All right, everybody, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.